As a sports fan, I have to confess. Sometimes the game gets kind of boring. That's when I unfold my Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 and use multi-window viewing on its large screen. Boring game? I'm checking out my fantasy baseball league at the same time. Score still 1-0? I'm replying to emails in the other window, scoring points with the boss. Semifinals finally getting exciting? I'm buying tickets to the finals and booking my flights. Can your phone do that?
The new Galaxy Z Fold 7. Get yours at Samsung.com.
This episode is brought to you by FXX and Hulu. Futurama returns on September 15th, blending heartfelt moments with razor-sharp humor while accidentally saving the day. The Planet Express crew is back, defying gravity and common sense. From the creator of The Simpsons comes 10 new episodes where the romance is hotter, the threats are bigger, and the action hits harder. Don't miss the all-new season of Futurama returning September 15th at 8 p.m. Watch it on FXX or stream it on Hulu.
First of all, were you sleeping in a car in a Home Depot parking lot? Did it really go that rock bottom when she dumped you?
This is the plaintiff, Dorian Schiff. She says she and the defendant were in a relationship and at one time lived together. She stored some of her stuff in his storage unit, and once they split up, he took it upon himself to discard her precious things. Her phone number's been the same since the beginning of time, so she can't understand why the louse didn't call her before he trashed the $2,000 worth of stuff she once owned. This is the defendant, Mark Davis. He says the plaintiff's a vindictive woman who loves suing people because she enjoys being a pain in the neck. That's right, she harasses his family, his clients, and now she's using this lawsuit as an excuse to see him and be in contact with him. As far as her items, he got rid of the storage unit 2 years ago, and everything in it was his. He's accused of trashing an ex's stuff. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $2,000 for harassment.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Okay, Dorian Schiff, you are suing Mark Davis for $2,000 in items, mostly baby items that you say were in his storage room and he got rid of without your consent. Tell me what's going on.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
I was given permission by Mark Davis in 2000.
How did you two know each other?
I was in a relationship with him in the past.
How long were you in a relationship?
About 3 years.
3 years. Mm-hmm. Okay, you were given permission by him
to store the baby items in the U-Haul storage along with his.
Okay. And when did you do that?
I did that in June of 2009.
Okay.
So I contacted him in the summer of 2012, and I inquired about my items.
But what happened between 2009 and 2012?
2009 and 2012, we weren't together anymore.
But why did you take your stuff when you guys broke up?
Well, because I did ask him, do you need me to take the stuff? And he said, no, I have stuff in storage. If anything changes or I'm going to give up the storage, I will contact you. So...
Have you had any contact with him between 2009 and 2012?
No, we haven't.
Did you ever pay any storage fees?
No, I did offer money in 2009, and then I contacted him in 2012. I inquired about the storage.
Wait, when you offered money, what did he say?
He said, no, I did tell you that you can store your stuff there with me since I needed room to store my item that was in your house, and there's no need for you to give me anything.
I understand. When you guys broke up, didn't he need those items and then put them into the new place?
No, he still had them in the storage. He still kept the storage.
Where'd he go
I
when
did
you guys
ask
broke
him.
up?
He ended up sleeping in his car in Home Depot parking lot.
Oh, well, then I guess you don't need the stuff that's in the storage.
His stuff stood in storage, right.
Okay.
So I did ask him, I did contact him in 2012, and I inquired about my items in storage, and he said, oh, there's no need, don't worry about that. I've been taking care of that. So I hadn't spoken to him again, and I contacted him August 11th, 2013, and I told him that I needed to retrieve the stuff out of storage. And he said he was with a
why did you need it now, after 4 years or whatever that it's been over there?
Because I actually would be able to use the baby stuff right now.
Because you're going to have a baby.
Correct.
Good for you.
Yes.
Congratulations. Why are you so shy about it? All right, go on.
And of course, he had given me the okay, and I offered him money in 2012. You see, when me and Mark resided, one thing has nothing to do with the other, but when he was residing with me, he used to always say, I wish I could contribute. He paid nothing, so I guess he felt that that's the least he could do as far as
So
paying
what
for
happened in
storage.
2013 when you called him and said...
Okay, so when I called him then, he said he was with a customer and he would call me right back. I managed to say to him before he hung up, I was just calling because I'm ready to retrieve my stuff out of storage. And he said, storage? I got rid of that a long time ago. So I was surprised, like, well, what do you mean you got rid of it?
So did he call you back after his client?
No, he never ever called me back.
Did you call him?
If I called him?
Yeah, did you call him?
Yes, I contacted the job to speak to him. I did speak to his manager.
Why did you speak to his manager?
Because when I had called there, and you would have to go through certain prompts to speak to like a representative, a sales representative.
Wait, I'm sorry. Why are you speaking to anybody else at his job but him? When he says, I'll call you back, and he doesn't, do you call him back?
No, I didn't.
So you just went straight to court after he had said that before hanging up because he didn't call you back? What's going on?
Yeah.
Your Honor, first of all...
were you sleeping in a car in a Home Depot parking lot? Did it really go that rock bottom when she dumped you?
Well, let me just start from the beginning. We were married.
We don't want to start in the Home Depot parking lot in the car.
No, not at all. Although it's a pretty nice parking lot.
It's a nice parking lot.
Yes.
That's parking lots and cars go.
But anyway,
is it a nice car?
It's a beautiful car.
Okay.
But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But we were married. We were married for 3 years.
Wait, you were married or
yes,
you were in a relationship?
We were married.
Were you married?
Yes, we were, but it's like it never happened.
What do you mean it's like it never happened?
Well, it's like it never happened. So
what are you, a bigamist? You didn't want someone else to know you were married? How do you not? Were you married or were you in a relationship?
Right, we were married, but
who
you know,
does
when
that?
you got
Who
a
calls
divorce,
a relationship? Who calls a 3-year marriage?
It was about, it was 3 years. Once we were from beginning to end.
Who's the girl
No, it wasn't
laughing?
3
Is that
years.
your daughter?
Yes, it is. She's my
who
witness.
calls a 3-year marriage a relationship? Were you?
Well, because
You're a bigamist. Were you married to somebody else? So
no, I wasn't.
Why do you want to erase it so badly?
No, it was a mistake.
Okay, but mistakes happen.
It really was a mistake, and it really was a mistake. And just like I said, he's always said, I wish I could contribute.
Go ahead. I don't want to hear that. I'm stunned. I'm just, I'm very surprised.
So
go ahead.
that's why
you were married? Okay.
Yes, that's why we lived together.
Oh.
Okay, that kind of makes sense, right? We had issues, and I just, appeased her, and I left the house. She asked me to leave, and I left. And of course, I had to get storage because I had nowhere else to go. I was staying with friends. I had stayed in hotels. Of course, I stayed in my car a couple of times. But I didn't know exactly what was going on in our relationship. So I got the storage, and...
When did you get the storage?
I got the storage in 2009.
Okay.
It was the first time I left.
Okay.
2007. Yeah, 2009.
But how did it come about that she says she stored all her baby stuff in there?
My stuff could barely fit and I had stuff stored in my car as well. And, I have no idea, to tell you the truth, what she's talking about this.
Because you never gave her permission to store baby stuff in there?
No, I never gave her permission.
Did you ever give her the keys so she could store stuff in there?
I never gave her the keys. It was my storage.
So she's either out and out making it up 3 years out. How long have you guys been separate? Been divorced?
We've been divorced officially 2 years.
Okay, so 2 years later, do you doubt that in her head that her baby stuff was there? I mean, because it's kind of a weird thing to turn around and sue somebody for 2 years after you're rid of them.
Absolutely. She
says she called you in August of 2012 and said, you still have my stuff, and that after the breakup, she said to you, do you want me to contribute? None of that ever happened, according to you.
No,
and
never.
Did she? When was the first time you learned that she wanted, that she claimed to have baby stuff in there?
August 6, 2013. I just gotten back from my vacation. It was my first day back at the job. And I'm getting acclimated, I'm getting busy, and I get a phone call from her. And after the divorce, it was a bad situation. Like she said, it was a mistake, and everything was settled in the divorce. We both went our separate ways.
Did you have a settlement agreement that released each other from claims?
We had a settlement.
Can I see
yes. I actually don't have that.
You didn't bring it? You're being sued for something?
Let me tell you why.
Stop, because I want to grasp my hands around this. I understand you're not a lawyer, but let's see if I've got this straight. You know enough to tell me she can't sue me, Judge, because we have a settlement agreement and it releases each of us from future claims. But you didn't prove that. You didn't bring your settlement agreement to court today. Why? Are you still living out of your car in a Home Depot? Or do you have, why didn't you bring it?
Welcome back to the People's Court, Harvey. 11 years. So who has a harder time when a relationship ends, men or women?
I think women do.
What do you say?
I think they just get more attached.
What do you think?
I agree with her. I think women do.
Anybody think men?
No.
Really?
I think the guy does, yes. The guy is always pining and thinking about it in the back of his mind. He doesn't want to admit it to anybody, so it stays inside him longer.
Everybody's looking and saying, what? Going inside the courtroom.
I lost a lot of things moving back and forth.
But was there a lawyer involved?
There was a lawyer.
And why couldn't you just get it from the lawyer's office?
I actually got this, the divorce decree from the...
Yeah, except for that the divorce decree that you handed the court just says we're divorced. It doesn't tell me the details of the release, which is, it's a slam dunk and the case is over if I see the release. Do you have the divorce papers?
No, I don't.
No, you don't even admit there was a marriage.
Right.
Why would I think that you'd have the divorce papers? How are you going to prove $2,000 worth of, let's see, an $800 Bugaboo stroller from 7 years ago?
Judge, I have...
a $340 playpen and bassinet, a trend snapping. How do I know you're not just making stuff up that you want now? Like this is your little wish list over at Babies R Us. You can't just make stuff up. I mean, I need to see proof that you had
Your
stuff
Honor,
there.
I have proof right here.
Okay.
I have proof of, and also pictures of all the baby items that I have. And also, I have a copy of the U-Haul storage that he got in 2009. June of 2009, but my items was put in before.
Okay, this is just a piece of paper where you typed stuff.
Correct.
Okay, this is not proof.
No,
this you could do. You could have done 4 seconds ago.
Correct.
These are pictures of what things cost. Yes. That is not proof that you had it there 5 years ago. This is yes. If you buy today a beautiful Bugaboo Cam, 3rd generation, you pay $900. Yes, I know that. That is not proof of that you had this item in there 5 years ago. Which, by the way, you still wouldn't get that $900 for a stroller value because it would have been depreciated. But so you understand how you can just make your little wish list like this, but that doesn't proof. Show me one receipt for any of this stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Do you have a receipt?
No, I don't have a receipt because it was so long ago, but I have proof right here from U-Haul.
Yeah, what's your proof from U-Haul? You're gonna tell me. Let's see it. And you have a counterclaim against her for $2 grand for what?
Harassment, calling my job. Keeping me from my customers.
How is she keeping you from your customers?
Well, because I have to stop and take my calls. My manager pulled me over to the side while I was with my customer.
But how many times did she call you?
About 5 or 6 times.
Okay, so 5 or 6 phone calls you think makes a $2,000 harassment
and calling,
case?
And calling my home, my roommate, calling my roommate.
And saying what?
Saying, asking to speak to me.
Was there a divorce decree in this case? You guys got a divorce, right?
Yeah, we did get it.
And did you both have lawyers?
Yes, I did.
There's no way that settlement agreement doesn't contain the clause that every single lawyer puts in every single one of them that says we forever hold each other harmony. I mean, he's disorganized. You know, and he didn't bring it, which he should have, because I'd have stopped talking 8 minutes ago. But how can you tell me that settlement agreement doesn't have that clause?
Yeah.
Huh? I didn't hear you.
I wasn't even thinking of anything like that as far as the divorce.
Okay, now what is this U-Haul self-storage rental agreement?
Correct. It states that there was furniture in there.
Okay, all it says is type of goods stored furniture.
That's what was in there, is furniture.
But you're talking about $900 baby strollers.
Your Honor?
Okay, I'm sorry. You keep saying I have proof and flinging stuff at me, and then when I question you on it, it doesn't prove what you're saying. I mean, I know they're not going to go list everything that's in there. I understand that, but you know, this doesn't help you. Let me tell you something. I believe that you believe that stuff was in there, but you have numerous problems. Number one, you were married to the man. You had a settlement decree with 2 lawyers involved and a judge, and there is no way that clause isn't in there, even though the guy didn't bring it. But let's just put that to a side, and let's just look at what can you prove. We have an issue that's 4 years ago. It's when you broke up, and you don't have a single receipt for anything, and you're asking for these astronomical figures for $900 strollers, as though they were brand new instead of 5 years old and dumped by you in some assuming that you're to be believed and it's truthful, that they're dumped by you in some place and abandoned for 4 years. You can't prove this case, Ms. Schiff. I'm sorry. And my verdict in this case is for the defendant. And by the way, on your counterclaim for harassment, 0.
Thank you.
Well, the plaintiff's case is out of gas, and you come out of here with nothing because you understand how this works and you're just unable to prove the claims.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so no problem with the
And I'm just
judge's
very
ruling.
happy that I don't have to deal with this individual again.
Well, there was a time you felt totally differently about him, right? What did you see in him at that time? What did you see in him?
I'll just leave it at that. It was just a big mistake.
Right.
And I'm very happy the decision I made is the decision I made.
All right.
Yep.
Good luck with everything.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. All right, good luck. All right, so step on in here. You hear what she has to say. How do you feel about this?
Well, she could not prove it because it never happened.
Why would she sue you? Why would she sue you then if it never happened?
Why
would she be suing you?
Because she would do anything to try to. She's always been trying to do bad things to me, making me feel terrible because the marriage didn't work out. So I did my best in the marriage. It just wasn't a good idea.
When was the last time you had to sleep in the Home Depot parking lot? When was the last time?
No, that maybe happened twice. That's because I just decided.
It's in the past?
Yeah, it's in the past.
Okay. Good luck to you.
Okay.
Harvey? Okay, FYI, rules on abandoning property vary wildly from state to state. And before you do anything with what you think is abandoned property, you should check with your local police department. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
New Vitamin Water Zero Sugar Pineapple Passion Fruit is packed with vitamins, just like the amount of peas we packed in that sentence. It's packed like your tote bag, the one you stole from your ex, or your overpriced half a studio apartment, or extra rushed rush hour traffic. Packed like your calendar, triple booked at 5, of course. Grab a vitamin water. Did we mention it's packed with vitamins?
This episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. Psst, healthcare pros, word's out, and it's too good to keep quiet. Look, LinkedIn is revolutionizing job hunting, making it possible to search by specialty, shift preference, and salary. Endless scrolling is out. Whether it's a mental health therapist or dental hygienist, finding the perfect role is faster and easier than ever. Head to linkedin.com/healthcare and start your search today.
These are the plaintiffs, Brenda Madrick and Ruth Crutchfield. Brenda says she hired the defendant, a lawyer, to represent her son who was in jail. And after he went to see him in jail, her son told her he didn't like him and didn't want him to represent him. Her son ended up going to court by himself, and now the defendant, a very sketchy lawyer, won't give them their money back. So they're suing for the $1,500 they're owed. This is the defendant, Casey Bryant. He says he's represented numerous people in the plaintiff's family. The plaintiff signed a contract with him, and he put time and effort into their case. When they asked for their money back, he returned 50% of it and deserves to keep the rest for the work he performed. He's accused of lousy lawyering.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff hired a lawyer to represent her jailed son and says the lawyer was sketchy, so she fired him, but he won't return her retainer. Now, the defendant says he did good work and offered her 50% back. It's the case of son of a barrister.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Brenda Madrick and Ruth Crutchfield, you are suing Casey Bryant of the law offices of Casey Bryant for $1,500, the balance of a retainer fee that you feel he has improperly kept. Tell me what's going on.
Judge Million, on April the 12th, myself, sister, and my mother went to talk with Mr. Bryant concerning representing my son that was at that time incarcerated.
For what?
He had several felony charges.
How many?
3.
What were they?
He had a weapons charge, a drug charge, and I don't quite remember what the third one was.
Okay. Cases that have been pending and then he picked up a new charge?
I'm sorry?
Did they all three, did they surface at once, or was he out on bail on one and then picked up another? How
Your Honor,
was it?
there are capias outstanding on many of these cases, but there's 4 felony cases in one county and a DUI in another county. There's 5 total cases.
Okay. 4 felony cases in one county. Which one?
Duval County.
In Florida. And,
Yes.
And the 5th case was?
It was a DUI in Nassau County, which is just
All right.
north.
All right, so what happens? How do you get his name?
One of my sisters recommended him that he worked with a nonprofit agency often.
Okay.
And she recommended that we speak with him.
Okay.
We did that, and on that date we talked about his fees, and he worked with me on being able to pay, the total balance. And when I signed the contract, it was on that contingency that they would be able to work together. Well, my mother went ahead and wrote a check for the deposit that he was asking.
Why didn't you just have him meet your son before hiring him?
Well, he didn't roll like that.
Well, you didn't roll like that either. I mean, yeah, he didn't roll like that. He wants your $3,000. I know why he didn't. I'm asking you why you didn't, because if it's so important to you that they mesh, which of course is important, why would you hire first and ask questions later?
Well, if it had been myself writing the check, yes, I would have.
Well,
done
but your
it that
mother's
way.
next to you, and your mother's doing this for you as a favor. Your
Yes.
mother's doing this at your instruction. It's not
Yes.
your mother doing it.
Yes,
You're calling the shots here. You're trying to protect your son. You've kind of sucked your mother into helping you protect your son. And writing this big check. So it's your call. But what happened? You just weren't thinking? You were just desperate? You were scared? You were what?
Well, you don't
all of
tell
those?
My mother what to do, so.
Your mother, what? You don't tell your mother what to do? Oh, okay, so I got it all wrong?
No, and she really wanted to help her grandson.
Right. And so was someone else representing your son at that point?
Yes, he had an attorney, but it was court appointed. And
he didn't like him.
He did. He liked him.
Well, why are you guys rushing out and going to hire somebody who's charging you money when you got one that the rest of us are paying for?
I just wasn't very comfortable with a court-appointed attorney.
Why? Because they're free?
Well, not so much as that, but I didn't think that they would put their best foot forward.
Why? Because they're free to you? Because they're not free. They're charging. They're just not charging you. They're charging. Yes. Well, I guess they're charging you when you pay your taxes, because that's government money that's paying for it. So if you're paying your taxes, they are charging you. They're definitely charging me. Are they charging you? Right. Well, they're not charging you. You're not in Florida. But all right. All right. It's just, I was a prosecutor for many years, and I worked with public defenders. And some of the best lawyers I ever litigated against were public defenders, by choice, not by, I can't get a job. So it's just kind of, it's more like what you were saying in this courtroom, which is, you want to make sure it's a good fit and a good lawyer.
Yes.
So what ends up happening? You go to see Mr. Bryant, and Mr. Bryant, you obviously you guys like him because you hire him, you sign a contract, and you give him $3,000, and you work out a payment plan to finish paying him. $5,600 was the.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and then what happens?
He said that day, it was on a Friday. He said that he would visit my son that day, and he did not. Finally, Mr. Bryant went to see him on that Monday, and that Tuesday, my son called me and told me he didn't like Mr. Bryant, that he felt that Mr. Bryant was trying to be someone that he wasn't.
How?
And he said he was trying to act black when he's not black.
Oh, okay.
Those were my son's words now. So.
Okay, well, that's very telling. That's a little food for thought. Go on.
Well, he wasn't comfortable with that, and he said that he didn't want him. Now, I called him first, and I spoke with Mr. Bryant. I told him my son didn't like him, that his exact words.
When did you call him?
On Wednesday. Okay. My son called me Tuesday evening. I called Mr. Bryant Wednesday. And I told him my son didn't like him. He didn't want him. And I also emailed him that same day, that conversation he and I had.
Can I see your email?
You can.
Okay. You went to see him on the 15th?
Yes.
Okay. And you got hired on what day?
The 12th.
Okay. And did you represent to them you were going to see him the same day?
Your Honor, I had every intent. I had to get the discovery on 4 separate felony cases from the attorney so I could intelligently speak with Mr. Crutchfield about these cases instead of merely going in there and doing
So
a cursory
basically what we
handshake.
have is they hire you on Friday, you see him on Monday, they fire you Wednesday. And you have apparently, he did return some of the fee, right? How much of the fee did he return?
$1,500.
$1,500. And then you kept the other $1,500.
That's correct.
That you felt you had earned. Tell me, now you have to, as you know, explain to me what you did in the meantime to have earned it.
Your Honor, well, when I first met with Ms. Madrick. I spent a lengthy amount of time with her in my office, along with her mother and Miss Ruth, who I've dealt with on many cases. They've referred other members of their family to me, and I glean that they're satisfied with what it is I've done if they've come to me on this time. And I worked out a payment plan that would fit Ms. Madrick's budget. I had originally quoted her more money, but knowing that I had worked for them before and they were repeat customers, I worked out and did a payment plan that extended.
the family discount.
Yeah, it extended.
Do you practice exclusively criminal law?
Exclusively.
Okay, go on.
The payment plan extends until December of this year. And Your Honor, what I did is I did something to help them and get what it is that they wanted done. I obtained all the discovery, release of the client files.
Wait, I want you, okay, you obtained all the discovery from whom?
The court-appointed attorney.
Okay, do you have the discovery to show me?
Oh, I do, if you'd like to see.
Then what happens? You go to see him on Monday.
Discuss the
You
cases.
act black.
Excuse me?
You act black.
Apparently.
Apparently. What were you trying to be like hipper than, you know? He didn't like it. Don't do it the next time. It backfired. I don't know.
I'll have to curtail that out of the defense strategy.
I don't know. All right. He wanted you to be yourself. It's kind of, I think it's fascinating. Anyway, and so what happens?
I spoke with him. I got names and telephone numbers of certain people who would have been witnesses to certain cases. Then I had to file notices of appearances with the court. I had to contact the state attorney, and her opinion was that we have very serious cases. There's 4 felony cases, and it was a total.
Yeah, that didn't need that. You don't need a seance for that one. But anyway, so go on.
It was a total of 7 charges. We have a man that's been to prison 3 times here before. He would qualify as a habitual offender.
So, this is interesting. Do you think a court-appointed lawyer works as hard or doesn't work as hard as a lawyer that you would hire? What do you think?
I would hire a lawyer. I think they have more experience, and court-appointed are beginners and first-timers.
Not always. That is not always true. What do you think?
I think that if you would hire a lawyer, they would work harder for you.
Why?
It's America. It's all.
It's America.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think?
Well, I think if they are passionate about justice, then they will work hard for it.
So a court-appointed lawyer might be more passionate than some guy who's just sitting there looking at his time card.
Right. He would just be seeing dollar signs.
Fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
So I'm going to take into account the work that was performed, which was the time with the client, the obtaining of the discovery, the reviewing of the discovery, which is really all the discovery there was, incidentally, was just the charging documents, right?
No,
there was no depositions or anything taken yet.
Yeah, there's no depositions.
Right. The conversation with the prosecutor is, I think, de minimis. I'm going to order you to return $750 of the fee. That's my verdict.
There comes the lawyer, so step on in here and pretty much just give me your reaction to this verdict.
Justice denied.
Well, how come you were unable to satisfy these clients then? What happened?
For whatever reason, he didn't like me. It won't be the first time, it won't be the last time that a defense attorney is fired merely because a client doesn't like that person from whatever reason.
All right. Okay. Right down this way, that wraps it up. And come on in here and tell me, you satisfied with what you got out of this?
The decision is the decision. I feel that we should have gotten it all. However, this man shouldn't even be allowed to practice law.
Why not?
He's a criminal himself.
Okay, Harvey?
Here's the thing. Even if you sign a retainer agreement, you are allowed to fire your lawyer at any time. Thing is, you have to pay for the work the lawyer does. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
With the Walmart app, you can squeeze in those final days of summer and nail that back-to-school shopping list. So keep working on that tan and let Walmart Express Delivery handle the rest. Chromebooks, Clorox wipes, Sharpies, glue sticks, pens, pencils, and more. All delivered in as fast as an hour. So pour yourself another iced tea. Summer's not over. Last-minute back-to-school supplies delivered fast. The Walmart you thought you knew is now new. Subject to availability. Fees and restrictions apply.
This is the plaintiff, Thomas Abin. He says he hired the defendant, a contractor, to do a much-needed flooring job in his house, and the clown ruined the place. He had to redo the whole job. The defendant should be ashamed of himself for pretending to be a flooring guy, because what he did was a complete abomination. He's suing for $3,000, the amount he's out. This is the defendant, John Drake. He says he's been in the business for 20 years and he's never, ever come across a customer like the plaintiff. Nothing can make this guy happy. The plaintiff's just being a pain in the neck, is looking for a free job, and he's not giving him a penny. No way, no how. He's accused of fouling up a floor.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff says the defendant wrecked his floor when he was supposed to make it better. But the defendant says in 20 years he's never dealt with such a jerk. It's the case of you give bad wood.
Okay, Thomas
Abeen.
Abeen, you are suing John Drake, your former contractor, for $3,000, your state maximum, for negligently completing some construction work at your house. Tell me what happened.
That's correct, Your Honor. As part of a home improvement project, we were redoing some floors in my house. And the scope of the project was to remove the current tile floor, all the baseboard in those rooms, take the appliances out of the room, put down 3/4-inch solid wood flooring. I was to provide the flooring. The contractor was to do the work, install the flooring, seal it, and return the appliances back to their original position. And that was not done.
You hired him, and how did you find him?
That's correct. We interviewed several contractors, and we found John
How did you find him?
On Craigslist.
Craigslist makes the world go round. All right, so you... It's not the best way to get a recommendation, but okay. So you hired him from Craigslist, at least you interviewed a few people, and then had that work out for you not so good?
Not so good.
Okay, and so you have a contract with him?
Yes.
May I see it?
Yes.
Okay, so you hire him to do it, and you pay him how much?
I gave him $1,000 upon the first day of starting the work.
Okay, there's no dispute about that, right?
No, that's correct.
Okay, so the estimate's for 2020?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay, and then what happens?
The next day, 2 other gentlemen showed up who I never met before, who were subcontracted, I believe, by Mr. Drake to do the work. And they said they've never met him previously. And they spent 4 days at my house, tearing up the house, never completing the work. And then
Not what?
Never completing the work.
As in they didn't come back, and what stage did they leave it at?
They left by finishing the demolition, putting down the hardwood floor, doing some sanding work, and put 1 coat of finish on there.
And so how did they not complete the work? What was remaining to be done?
Well, the floor was supposed to be sealed with multiple coats, which wasn't complete. There was never any cleanup, and the baseboard molding that was supposed to be taken off was never returned and was destroyed during the demolition work. Additionally, the floor buckled up. So some of the wood had to be taken back up, reapplied, all resanded.
Do you have
and
pictures of this?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
May I see them?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Who were these 2 guys?
I did the same thing because my normal wood refinisher couldn't do it that day, so I went to Craigslist and...
You gotta be kidding me.
I swear to God.
Yeah, but that's not funny. You're
No,
supposed to be
but
an
serious,
expert. You're supposed to have people at your fingertips.
Right.
You're not supposed to be a desperate
But
homeowner
I already did-
randomly looking for someone to fill in a job.
I already did the rip-up, so I wanted to keep the job moving. And as of the first day when I did the rip-up and move the furniture, I talked to his wife, and I said, these guys look competent to finish the job, and she said, yes, they did.
How's his wife going to know? She's not in the business. It's you
Because they
that's
were
got to
old
know.
guys. They look
well,
like
what
they're
happened?
experienced.
Did you ever look at the job they did?
No, I didn't go back because the first thing the guy, they called and says he has to rent stuff for him and this and that. And I said, that's fine. Take it off what you got to pay him.
Wait, why does he have to rent stuff? Why aren't you guys bringing what you need?
No, I wasn't. I was responsible for the whole job, but I subbed that part of it out.
I understand, but do you think that
Right.
when you choose to sub something to 2 yahoos from Craigslist, that no one's going to
Yeah,
ask
they
you
should
why
have
don't
their
you
own
have
tools,
tools?
correct.
Right. So
Right.
now, so the guy has to go out
Because
and
they were just, the first day I was there, they were just there to do the nail down. And the baseboard was never an issue. On the contract, it says quarter round, doesn't say baseboard, so that was never supposed to come off.
But who took him off?
The
yahoos
guys that
you
were
hired?
there. Correct.
Okay, well then we come back to you, don't we?
Mhm.
So I don't understand. Did you ever talk? Did you pay these guys?
I didn't. That was the agreement with them. You pay me the first half, and you're going to take care of these guys.
But not when
paying
you
the
have a
second.
contract that you're supposed to supervise. You do know what subcontract means, right?
Correct.
Doesn't mean you get to
Yes.
run off to the next job and take the next deposit.
Correct.
It means you're supposed to supervise what's going on and make
Right.
sure that competent employees of yours are there,
Correct.
and not two people that you pick going, boom, these guys.
But
I
at
mean,
the
we don't
same
expect
time,
you
he's
to
not
do
supposed to
that.
pay them if he didn't like the job and then hire somebody else after. If he didn't like their job, he shouldn't have paid them.
You
should be
gave him
suing them, not me.
$1,000.
That's correct, Your Honor.
You paid the workers $1,000 or $800.
I paid them $1,000, $200, and then $800.
Why did you pay them if the job was bad and they hadn't completed it?
The major reason, Your Honor, was to end them coming to the house.
Why?
There was enough disruption to my life. I had to leave the home, and enough was enough
Wait,
already.
but according to you, they had left your house. Like they didn't come back and finish. So that doesn't
Well,
sound
they
like
came
you
to me-
wanted them out. That's why you paid
they
them.
came
It
to
seems
me-
like you paid them and you wanted them back, and that didn't happen.
What they informed me, Your Honor, was that they were not to reinstall the baseboard or the appliances or the quarter round, that the only thing that they were to do there was to finish demolition.
So
and put
why'd
the
you
wood
pay
in.
them so much?
That's what
Because
they
you
told
paid
me
them
to
almost the rest of the balance of the contract, where
did,
you
Your
know
Honor.
that you have a contract with him that for $2,020, you're going to have everything clean and put back in place. So even if you expect him to come back and put this stuff back in place, why would you just pay them whatever they asked for rather than waiting to make the second payment until everything's done?
I was hoping that John would come and complete the job, Your Honor.
Oh, so you paid him first and then hoped later? How'd that work out for you?
Not so well, that's why I'm here.
Right. And how'd that Craigslist thing work out for you?
Not so well.
Okay, this is kind of interesting. Who do you think is more difficult to deal with, the homeowner or the contractor? What do you think?
The homeowner.
What do you say?
Because we want to make sure that we get our money's worth and everything goes the right way.
Has to be just so.
Exactly.
Okay, what do you think? What are you guessing?
The contractor.
Why?
Well, because they have to fit the Okay, well, because once my mom got the house done and the contractor was not very cooperative, and then the house didn't work out well, and it was because the contractor wasn't doing what my mom said.
Oh my God, really?
I swear.
Oh my God, swear to God. Going inside the courtroom.
You paid him $1,000, you paid them $1,000, and you spent $1,400 on tools?
Tool rentals and miscellaneous, yes. I had to rent the sanders.
No. Okay, so if you have a contract with this guy to take care of everything for $2,000, why would you spend $3,500 to take care of everything?
Your Honor, I was looking to get a job completed, and I realized at that point that there was going to be a problem with this, and I did reach out many times to John to try to get clarity and say, look, this isn't working out, but when you're halfway down, I had two choices, either to end it and throw them out, or to pay additional money, get the job done, and then try to recoup it.
May I see your receipts for $1,446.73?
Yes, Your Honor. I have several pages of receipts.
I don't understand. Does he call you and say, hey, I got to pay $1,500 for tools?
I got the lawsuit like a week and a half later saying I'm being sued. He called me and said he had to rent the tools for the guys. I said, okay, I didn't know that. Take it off of what you owe him. Plain and simple.
It's not that plain and simple, because once again, you keep trying to wash your hands of
No,
and
you're
you can't.
absolutely right.
You can't just tell them, take it off of them and then move on to the next
you're absolutely
dance.
right.
That's not how it works.
This is the original.
I can't read this. What is this? They don't have a nail gun? Get
Correct,
out
I
of
didn't
here.
have a nail gun.
They had two the day I was there. I don't know maybe they broke. I don't know.
What is this 1,200 and 1,185? The actual oak floor, but the oak floor you were always supposed to provide.
Correct, I was supposed to provide
So why are you
that.
suing him for that? Are you suing him for
No,
that?
I'm not suing him for that, Your Honor.
Okay,
that was
I
just-
asked for the receipts that you're suing for, okay. Your receipts come up to $389.45, not $1,446.
There's additional costs I incurred, Your Honor, for staying in a hotel room due to the...
You're suing for that separately. You're suing for an additional $516 for staying in the hotel. So we'll get to that when we get to that. Now show me the pictures of what they did wrong. Incomplete coverage and damage to walls. Uncoated areas of floor plus damage to walls. Okay. Did you pay somebody to come in and put a second coat of the polyurethane and fix the baseboards?
I had someone come in, yes, and redo the floors, that's correct.
What did they have to redo about the floors? You mean just the finish?
The floors actually started to buckle, so they had to pull boards up and then reapply them.
Do you have other pictures to show me, or is this it? Because do you have pictures of the buckling? You don't have that.
I have a picture on my phone, Your Honor.
Okay, yeah, I'll see that. That's a picture. Did he ever call you and tell you, look, this is a problem, you need to come back, you need to fix this, you need to do this?
I never heard about the buckling in the floors or anything. I heard that he had to rent tools for the guys, and that was the only problem I ever heard.
Okay.
And I said, take it off their pay.
Well, yeah, okay.
And the baseboard wasn't supposed to be removed. The contract says quarter round only.
Right, but that's
so
a problem.
So if the walls got
on your
damaged,
guys.
that was whoever took it off.
Yeah, your guys.
That shows a picture of the buckle.
Whose guys are they?
That he paid.
Yeah, I understand he paid them, but he paid them is just a foolish thing because now the money's out of his pocket. You hire him is a foolish thing because the money's about to be out of your pocket.
Yep.
See, you can't wash your hands. Yeah, it's buckling. Wow, that's bad. Can I see your receipts for the hotel stay? Is that what's up here? No. Now, when did these guys go do the work?
August
15?
Correct.
Okay, this other guy didn't come in to do the work until September 9. If on August 15th you're leaving because of the work that those guys were doing. So why is he going to pay for that? That was never part of your deal. Why does he have to pay for it now?
No, Your Honor, the receipt in your left hand was due to the fact for the work that John's crew did. The receipt was done.
Wait, stop. You had to leave because you were going to leave while John's crew did work, but John never agreed to pay you to leave.
I left because the room was not properly sealed or cleaned up. And the sawdust.
Yeah, but you didn't get, you're not being honest with me because you didn't get, according to your other little receipt, which is just a piece of paper you could have written on this morning, that job wasn't done until September 9th. And this hotel's for August 15th. I'm not giving you the hotel.
Your Honor,
you know what? I've been doing this a long time, my friend. I see when someone's trying to inflate their claim, and that's what I think is happening with you. What I'm going to order is what I believe would be the fair market value of somebody coming in, putting a second coat, and putting back the baseboards, and maybe, I guess, cleaning up. And also, what it would cost to rent all those things, which you shouldn't have had to rent because that wasn't part of your deal. This is where we do a little what?
A little rough justice.
Rough justice.
Oh, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, rough justice. You never want the rough justice.
Nah.
All right? And I'm ordering you to return to the man $889.45. That is my judgment.
Both sides hold on right there, please.
So the flooring guy comes out first, and how did the rough justice work out for you in there?
He honestly shouldn't have got anything. So, give him something for the tool rental that he should have took from the guys that did the job.
All right, when you subcontract out and you hire the guys...
I never have problems.
Well, you did. Yeah. And so when you do, who's responsible ultimately?
Me.
Right. And so you were in the courtroom arguing otherwise?
No, because he paid him. Shouldn't have paid him.
Well, that wasn't the question.
If he wouldn't have paid him, I would have came back and took care of everything.
Okay.
Because the guys would have been bugging me.
All right, you head this way, and let's see what the plaintiff has to say about collecting $889 and some change, and you sued for a lot more than that.
That's correct. I was a little disappointed in the fact of some of the other costs, but I'm happy.
That's what happens when you try to inflate your claim.
The claim was not inflated.
No. Well, the judge thought otherwise. So how's the floor now?
Today's fine. I think the other guys came in, did a nice job, so I'm happy.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Harvey?
Okay, there's something in just about every state. It's called a performance bond. When you hire a contractor, if they're licensed, they have this bond, and if they screw up the job, you can actually go and you can get the money from the bond. It's like an insurance policy. You should make sure, A, that your contractor is licensed, and B, make sure he has a performance bond.